It's a shame you guys aren't having any fun. Good morning. Welcome to the Center for Eureka Center for Spiritual Living. Apparently, I am Angelica today, and boy, has this philosophy changed me. All right. We start out with, we're doing it. The service is different today. We're making some nice, fun additions and changes, but we have not changed the fact that we always start out with an acknowledgement of the lands on which we are located. So, the Eureka Center for Spiritual Living acknowledges that the land on which we gather is the ancestral territory of the Waples peoples. Thank you. This territory extends to the communities through most of Humboldt County, and we honor the Waples peoples today. Okay, so let's see here. We did the acknowledgement of ancestral lands. We're changing, we're adding some more music, so our band is going to become even more integral, whatever part of our service, as will you. There will be more opportunities to sing. So we're going to start out with this song, I'm Stepping Out. Thank you. Oh, God, thank you.
All right. If you are willing, please stand and sing with me. Here we go. I'm stepping out into a world of possibility. I'm stepping out on the way to live. There's so much clear before me. So much that
you, Donna. At our practitioner roundup, we used to do intentions, and my intention was not to start the whole service off key. You have saved me. You have saved the whole kind. Look at this. If this was a ship, we'd be listing. All right, so anyway, let's get going with what we've got going. Going to welcome everybody. Okay, so that's still in the same direction. So we have our affirmation that we will all say. Actually, we'll do this, and then we've got some other stuff going on. We're going to all say the top part together, but this is the beginning of a brand new year. And I believe our theme for 25 is I'm alive in 25? Is that what we're talking? Excuse me? Yeah, I'm alive in 25. So what we're going to do is we'll all say the top part together, and then I want you to turn to somebody else and say, you are looking alive in 25. Okay, and say it like that. Okay, so together we say, we are a welcoming community where the vibration of love lifts us, the wisdom of the ages inspires us, and the science of mind teaching empowers us, and you are looking alive in 25. Well, as we say every time at this year, can you believe it's January? So, as we move into January, a couple quick notes for you. Famous birthdays this year, or this month. Martin Luther King, Betty White, Stephen Hawking, Isaac Newton, Elvis Presley, Benjamin Franklin, Mozart, FDR, Oprah, J.R.R. Tolkien, and of course, this month, January 21st, will be the birthday of Ernest Holmes, the person who founded our philosophy. Excuse me? I'm trying to keep it short. I just went through and did a list. That said, there are fun, I like to find the little fun holidays. I mean, we know the serious holidays that are coming up in the month, but there's some fun ones. For example, January 2nd was Thank God It's Monday Day. I know, can you believe it? Apparently there are people who like Mondays, and it's all about, that holiday is all about the possibility that comes with a fresh start. January 2nd also happened to be, and what was that? Yeah, it should be I don't know. It should be on a Tuesday. That's right. He said it was on a Tuesday. Now, for the punsters in the room, you'll be pleased to know that January 2nd was also Happy Mew Year for Cats Day. Yeah, I put that one in just for you. This punny day is basically just another occasion to honor and fawn all over our cats. That said, January 14th is National Dress Up Your Pet Day. You may not like that fact that there's an entire day dedicated to making them look extra fancy, but I guarantee your Instagram followers will. It is also, on January 18th, is National Thesaurus Day. Peter Mark Roget, a British word guy, was it? Lexicographer, thank you. Who's most that's coming up. I got you covered. Who is most famous for publishing the Thesaurus of English Words and Phrases, also known as Roget's Thesaurus, in 1852, was born January 18th, 1779. So that's a day to honor, celebrate, extol, laud, praise, revere, salute his contributions. And finally, January 21st, a day that I think is going to be fantastic, is National Hugging Day. 1986, Reverend Kevin Zaborny, who was from Clio, Michigan, founded National Hugging Day as a small event in his hometown. Today it is celebrated all around the world. Hugging is a safe way to bring people closer to you, although he says you should always ask first, and I agree. And all of the month of January is National Codependence Awareness Month. I wanted to form a group for codependence, but nobody would give me permission, so it never came about. All right. I would think there would at least be a rim shot for that, but there won't be. Let's get on to the serious stuff we've got going on. Saturday, January 11th, as you can see, is Highway Cleanup Day. We need somebody to help helm that. Max is not doing that anymore. So if you would like to be the person in charge, please talk to Angelica. Or the woman. Speaking of men, however, the men's group will meet on the 11th and the 25th. It's the second and fourth Saturday of each month. That's from 3 to 5, hosted by our man, Edward. Crafternoon that should be a new national holiday. Crafternoon will be Friday the 17th from 1 to 4 here at the center. You will help decorate peace stubs, and boy, could we use them now. Also coming up this month is the response to this has been amazing. It is a limited in attendance class. We are going to take a look at grief, because we all go through it at some point. Either we mourn or we are mourned. There's really no other option. But grief is not just about the loss of people in our lives or even the loss of pets. It's about loss in general. So this 6-week course, which will be based on the book, The Grief Recovery Handbook, that some of us took before. It won't be the exact class that Susan, Angelica, and I took, but it's going to be very, very similar. We're going to take a look at what grief is, kind of redefine the definition of grief, some of the behaviors we use to handle it, either appropriately or inappropriately for our mental health. And then we're going to take a deep dive over a few weeks into some of the moments in our life that have most affected us. Call them grief moments, but anything from small grief events to significant grief events, and come away with some healing. It'll be interactive among the whole group. We are limited to 20. We are halfway there already. And if you want to be involved in this, you need to sign up by next week at the latest, because everybody gets a copy of the book and I have to order them and make sure they're here in time. So if you would like to sign up for this, there's a sign-up sheet next to Edward. Not next to Edward. Hello. Yes, James in his nice white coat, and Edward over there. Next to James, please sign up. It's in person, but we are trying to put together a Zoom one, and so if you would like to be in it but cannot be at that, you can put down, I'd like to be in the Zoom class. We don't know what date or when, but it'll probably be February or March. So we want to take this as wide as possible. Our Zoom sign-up already has about 8, but again, we haven't set the date. And the cost for the 6-week series is $99. If you have additional questions, you can see me afterwards. I'm really looking forward to this class. As deep as the topic might be, it was a really powerful one for me. And I think Angelica and Susan would say the same thing. Okay, let's go from that to soaring. This is the CSL convention, if you will, and it'll be held in August in Canada. More information at the website you see. Link is also in the newsletter. A reminder, if you want to stay on top of everything going on, the announcements are just a quick summary with some bad humor thrown in. But Angelica puts out a newsletter every Monday in the beginning of each month, and it's free. All you got to do is give Angelica your email address and get on the news, and then read it. That helps too. So let's move forward. Little Pantry still needs help. So if there's anything that you can donate that's non-perishable to the Little Pantry, please do so. On Mondays, Walk in Awe is here, and you can bring a lot, but you can bring it on Sundays and put it in the other room. And I think that's it for the announcements. Let's start our new theme. This is the theme for 2025, our spiritual journey. And we will start out our spiritual journey with another song, thank you, to which I will leave the platform. Okay. It's up to Donna. Oh, I'll get you set up. No, I'll go too far now. No, you're set.
I can still hear him talking. Sing with me. Open my eyes that I may see fullness of truth thou hast for me. Place in my hands the wonderful key that shall unclasp and set me free. Silently now I wait for thee. Ready, my God, thy will to see. Open my eyes, illumine me, Spirit divine. My eyes are open now, I see fullness of truth thou hast for me. Thou hast now hold the wonderful key that turns the door and sets me free. Joyously now I work with thee, ready, my God, thy will to see. My eyes are open, now I see, Spirit divine. Edward, we now will have our peace moment.
Well, it's easy. It's easy to see why Scott mistakes me and James. We look so much alike. Okay. One thing about living in our redwood community, so close to the ocean with all the tall trees, is that it's terrible for asthmatics around this time of year. So I will try not to cough through this. Since our theme today is our spiritual journey, I wanted to read something from Journey of Souls by Michael Newton, or Dr. Michael Newton. And for the new people, we read a little bit, we contemplate on the message for a few moments. Jackson then sings us into an affirmative prayer, which we call treatment. And then after that, Jackson will sing us into our beautiful and wonderful Reverend, who will give us our message for the day. National surveys by psychologists indicate 1 person in 10 admits to hearing voices which are frequently positive and instructional in nature. It is a relief for many people to learn their inner voices are not the hallucinations associated with the mentally ill, rather than something to be worried about. An inner voice is like having your own resident counselor on call. More often than not, these voices are those of our guides. Guides assigned to different souls do work together, relaying urgent mental messages for each other. People unable to help themselves in critical situations may find counselors, friends, and even strangers coming to their aid at just the right moment. The inner strength which comes to us in our daily lives does not arrive as much by a visual picture of actually seeing our guides as from the feelings and emotions which convince us we are not alone. People who listen and encourage their inner voice through quiet contemplation say they feel a personal connection with an energy beyond themselves which offers support and reassurance.
The greatest thing in all my life is loving you.
What I know is that we are not alone on our human journey. We never have been. We are guided by that special light, that special energy of those who have gone before and of those yet to come. There's only one life. There's only one energy. There is only one source material for all that is. Some of us call it God, some call it Spirit, some call it Baha. It doesn't matter what the name is. It is the one energy, the one force that guides us all. It is the greatest love that could ever be imagined, because love is the most powerful thing that exists in this universe, in this cosmos. And with that sword in our hand, there's nothing that can stand before us. No evil, no darkness, no feelings of doubt, no feelings of fear. Those are all illusions. They're concepts. The only thing that truly exists is love. And speaking in the first person on behalf of all of those of like mind, I say that I approach this world, this new time, this 2025, in an atmosphere of unshakable love and devotion to each other and to our fellow humans. And so it is.
The greatest thing in all my life is serving you. The greatest thing in all my life is serving you. I want to serve you, Lord. I want to serve you, Lord. The greatest thing in all my life is serving you.
And I believe that the greatest thing in this day for us all is to bask in the loving energy of our divine minister. Welcome, please, Reverend Angelica.
Well, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Zoomers. This is the first Sunday of a brand new year. Woohoo! It's a wonderful thing, and I'm knowing it's going to be a very good year. I'm going to read to you, I'm going to start out this morning by reading to you a letter that was sent from the CSL spiritual leader, Reverend Dr. Sunny Cantrell Smith. She wrote this for all of us. In the beginning, every journey begins with an initial step, and every step matters, be it large or small. When we take time to appreciate and honor the journey, our life becomes rich with beauty. In 2025, we are called to deepen our connection with this vision, to show up as agents of transformation in our communities and in the world. Let us remember that our principles of oneness, love, and infinite possibility are not only timeless, but also perfectly attuned to the needs of this moment. In the words of Dr. Ernest Holmes, each day is a new beginning. I live in the eternal now, which is filled with good alone. Let us embrace the truth of this teaching as we step into 2025, remembering the power of creation is always available to us in the present moment. Change invites us to innovate, reflect, and grow. As we build on the foundation of all we have learned, let us hold sacred for one another. Let us hold sacred space for one another, celebrate our shared successes, and courageously step into the next iteration of our collective journey. Together, we are creating a new chapter in the story of CSL, one that honors our past while boldly stepping into the future. May this new year bring each of you a renewed sense of hope, a deeper connection to spirit, and a powerful awareness of the love that unites us all. Thank you for the unique light you bring to our community and to the world. With love and gratitude, Reverend Dr. Sunny Cantrell Smith. Over the past few days, few weeks, a month or so, I've been getting a lot of, been involved in a lot of conversations about where we're going as a country. And so I think that the most perfect thing for us right now is to start this spiritual journey that I've declared is our yearly theme, getting ready for what we want to happen in this world. And I love the fact that in January, many of the centers, the communities, and Centers for Spiritual Living go back to the first 4 chapters of the textbook. And so that's what we're doing this month to help us get prepared for our journey. And so what we're going to talk about today is the thing itself. So as we embark on this new year, we're invited to explore the path of self-discovery. And we're invited to align ourselves more with the divine. So this month, we're really focusing on preparing for this journey, as I said. And Dr. Holmes says, the study of the science of mind is a study of first cause, spirit, or that invisible essence, that ultimate stuff and intelligence from which everything comes, the power back of creation, the thing itself. So what is this thing itself? Well, we can call it God, we can call it spirit, we could call it the divine, we can call it this creative energy. All of us have our own name for this entity that we learned as kids to call God. And remember, my God to me is an acronym or whatever for Grand Overall Design, Grand Overall Designer. So this thing itself is the infinite, impersonal, and ever-creative mind that governs this universe. And it governs through us. It's also the source and the substance of absolutely all of creation. And that, too, is expressing through us and as us. And what I want us to know, and one of the things I find that is the most difficult for many of us to really get, is that we are not separate from it. It's not something out there. Well, it is out there. I mean, it's everywhere, right? But it's in here as well. This thing itself is our life force. It's immediate and it's easily accessible. It's not separate from us at all. And what Holmes did for us in this chapter is he defined God as a universal presence rather than a personified deity. Now, I sort of like the idea of a personified deity sometimes when I'm doing my meditation or my prayer work. In fact, my God is a she. I'm a she, so my God is a she. So, but one of the things we have to remember is that God is not a person, but is personified through us and in us. So what does this mean for us? This means that our role here is as co-creators of this universe with this power within us. And so since we're individualizations of this great creative mind, our thoughts and our beliefs and our feelings shape our reality. So we're going to go into two stories today. One I have from when I was much, much younger, was when I first moved to Hawaii, early 80s. I searched for a job for months, it seems like. I mean, in Glendale, I was the head of a data processing department for a big company. And I made really good money. At that time, I was making $500 a week. So, you can imagine that was a lot of money. So I go into all these different interviews and, I fill out the forms, I have the interviews, I get to talk to somebody, and they're all like, they're offering minimum wage. And I said to one guy, I don't understand this. I came from a company where I was making $500 a week, and you're offering me, I don't know what it was, $4.75 an hour? I don't get it. He goes, so many people want to live in Hawaii that we can offer what we want. And I thought, what? It was so frustrating, and I started to doubt my own abilities while this experience is going on. And then one day I read in the book Creative Mind, which Ernest Holmes wrote, the universe always says yes to our deepest convictions. The universe always says yes to our deepest convictions. Now, I'm in Hawaii because Reverend Helen Street and I met at a Selimar, and she said, you belong in Hawaii. And also at a Selimar, I met a young man. Well, guess what I did? No, I didn't marry him. Thank God I didn't marry him. But I moved out of a house I had lived in for years, quit a job I had had for almost 20 years, picked up everything and left. And everybody's going, how could you do that? You're so brave. And I thought, I'm not brave. I'm being like kicked in the butt to do this. It's like, I don't want to do this, God. Okay, I'm going. So, and I go, and within a couple of weeks, I knew that this young man and I were not to be together. But I was staying at his house, and he lived with his mother still. So, so instead of focusing on the lack, I don't have a job, I can't get a job, this is so awful, I decided to start affirming, and this is what I affirmed. The perfect job is already mine. The way is open, and I'm guided to it right now. And so every morning during my prayer work, I would visualize myself happy and fulfilled in this new job. And I quit looking, and I went to the beach. We lived in Kahala. I lived in Kahala on Oahu, which is a very nice area of Honolulu. And the beach is absolutely gorgeous. And I had been so busy looking for a job that I hadn't let myself enjoy Hawaii at all. So I thought, screw this, I'm going to the beach. Well, a couple of days later, I'm walking on the beach. I met a young woman who had a cat on a leash. Well, pretty soon we're sitting on the same beach blanket talking away. And then she told me, well, I'll see you here tomorrow morning. And I said, okay. And I said, you don't work? And she said, oh, yeah, I work at a lounge downtown, but I don't start until 10:30. So, okay, I could do this. We could meet. That'll be fun. And so I'm still on the beach for a while, and I get back to the house, and my friend's mother told me I had a phone message. And I'm thinking, well, who would be calling me? And I answered listened to the phone message, and it was a man who had an accounting office downtown Honolulu who heard about me from the woman who worked at the lounge tending the bar, and he offered me the job. I didn't even have to interview. I just walked in, and he said, when do you want to start? And I said, today? And he says, okay. So what I realized was that what stood out for me was that I had changed my thinking from, it's so hard to get a job here, to, I can do this, the universe is going to provide for me with absolutely no problems whatsoever. And so I honored that thing itself that was in me. Now, this job was the most wonderful job. Jack was an accountant. He did lots of people's taxes, so during that season we were overload busy, but during all the rest of the year it was really easy. And I sat at the front desk, sort of waiting for him to give me something to do. And one day I said to him, now I'm also in Hawaii because I haven't finished my ministerial studies or my studies, and I had come to study with Helen Street. And so I told him, well, I'm going through practitioner year with my teacher. Do you mind if I use the computer while I'm here? He said, sure, go ahead. Well, something about Jack. He left for the lounge across the street at 10:30. He didn't get back till 2. So I got to use the computer to do all my essays and my homework that I had to do. And I thought, geez, God, when you do something, you really do it. I mean, not only did I now have a job that paid, not as well as I was getting before, but it paid, and I had a place to do my homework, sitting at this desk with a computer, etc. It was just wonderful. So this is the power of aligning our thoughts with this thing itself. When we trust in the infinite nature of this thing, when we begin to affirm our highest good, doors open in ways that we could hardly even imagine. And I'm going to tell you that you're using this power unconsciously all the time. There is never a point in your life when you are not using this power. So here's the second story. I have had so many phone calls about, I'm so scared about this year. This year's going to be awful. All the things that are happening, all these things that this man is saying, blah, 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 blah. And I thought, and I bought into it, and I still buy into it. And yet what I got was, what are we thinking about? What are we predominantly thinking about when we're thinking that way? Guess what we get to experience? So our job as students of this teaching, as people who are practicing this teaching, as light workers, is to stay above it all. As hard as it is, stay above it all. Start declaring what you want. I was talking to somebody yesterday who came over to my house, and she had got me something at Costco I wanted, and it was interesting because she started talking about how nervous she was about it, and I said, stop it right now. Now, she knows what I do. She used to come to this church a long time ago. She says, yeah, I know what you're going to tell me. You're going to tell me that I have to stop thinking about this. I have to stop focusing on it. And I said, yes, find something else. I said, look around us right now. We're standing in my driveway. We're surrounded by beautiful redwood trees. That it wasn't raining at that moment. So it was, a really nice place to be standing. One of my cats comes strolling out to see what I'm doing, and I'm looking at this cat. A couple of my rose bushes have to be cut back, but one is like way over the fence. It's like 9 feet tall, and it's got a big bud on it, ready to open. And I'm looking at all this stuff, and I start pointing all these things out to her. And I said, now you go home and you do that yourself. And anytime you start feeling yourself going down the rabbit hole, poor rabbits, stop and think about what you're grateful for. Think about all that you have right now. It doesn't matter what they're saying out there. If you look at this from a purely quantum physical point of view, everything that's happening out there is coming from in here. Why are we doing this to ourselves? Maybe what we need to do is have a big forgiveness circle and forgive ourselves for the way we've allowed ourselves to think about life, and move into this place where we can absolutely be grateful for everything that we have right now. I don't want us to be part of that mess. I want us to be a light, a bright, shining light in this community, in this country, and I know it's possible. And this is what we have to do. We have to continually shift our focus back to what we want rather than what we're afraid of. Everything that's happening right now, the man that's driving his car into the New Orleans people, the various different things that are happening in different states that we hear about on the news, it's all fear. Somebody was telling me, oh, well, why do they hate us so much? It's not hate, it's fear. Fear and love are the only two emotions that we can really have. Everything else is just a component of those two emotions. So it's my job to stay in love. It's my job to be grateful. It's my job to recognize the beauty, the wealth, the amazing wonders of everybody that's in front of me. We're all so different and unique and amazing. That's what our job is. So, in a way, this means that we have to have faith in the unseen. We have to have faith in this power within us. And we have to trust it. We absolutely have to trust that power within us. Dr. Holmes says, behind the individual is the universal which has no limits. It's limitless. The limits that are on it, that we're experiencing, we put there. So it's like take a big eraser, just erase it all. And that's why I like new years, new days, new weeks, etc., because we have the opportunity to change our thinking and change our life. I think we are so fortunate to have this teaching because it can do amazing things. It can heal things. It can get us jobs. It can get us mates. It can get us everything that we can possibly desire. And it only takes a small group of committed people, as Margaret Mead said, to change the world. So let's do that. So this is what I want us to do. As we move forward into our new year, let's prepare for this spiritual journey that we're going on. Now, let me tell you something about this spiritual journey. It's not just a walk along the beach. It's hard work. You know how your mind can run away with you. And you got to snatch it back. And sometimes we don't. It feels good to be mad. So give yourself 15 minutes. And then snatch it back. Go back into love. So this spiritual journey, I know my intention for us is that in December, we're going to look back and go, oh my God, I am so much more than I thought I was. Everyone is so much more than they thought they were. Our consciousness is going to grow amazingly. So I'm asking us to step boldly into the infinite possibilities that this teaching offers us. Boldly. And remember this, you are constantly being guided, supported, empowered every step of the way. Every step. So let's go into treatment. How grateful I am to have this teaching. How grateful I am to know and know that I know that there is a power within each one of us that is more than we could possibly ever imagine. There is nothing too hard for this power, nothing too hard for God. And so I celebrate this. I celebrate us moving from where we are right now into a higher consciousness moment by moment. And this consciousness is more than anything infinitely intelligent and unconditionally loving. So we celebrate this new year, this ability to step out of what has been or what we're being told will be and step into what we desire. And I know that what we desire is peace. Peace on every level. Peace individually, peace as a community, as a country, as a planet. I know amazing things are going to happen this year, and I declare them to be good. Regardless of appearances, I know that the highest good is coming forth. It's actually already here in our present reality. So I know that we rise up and we are conscious of it and we allow ourselves to, first of all, use it for ourselves and then move it out into the world. We declare love. We declare peace. We declare an absolute knowing that all there is this amazing divine energy. We remember that it's done unto us as we believe. So I know we change our beliefs easily and effortlessly into something that carries us forward into this year with a sense of joy and love and everything we could possibly imagine and more. The universe likes to manifest more for us. So we give thanks for this. I absolutely give thanks for all of this, for all of us, for being in this teaching, for allowing ourselves to be moved along this wonderful path called life, letting ourselves be guided by the divine. And it is good. It's all God. And so it is. Our gift of music this morning. Aren't our musicians doing a good job? Yay. Oh, by the way, I wanted to remind you on the table over there is the membership forms. Please fill them out. We do our membership yearly. So thank you very much. Let's welcome Rick up here. That's what?
Iron Man.
Oh! Thank you, Rick.
Since our theme is journey, I selected a song that my dearly departed wife Lisa and I wrote called "Gonna Get There Just Fine," and we recorded this in our home studio. I think it was in the 80s or 90s. And Anna helped me adjust everything, so I got a blend here. I'm going to sing along with it. And she said, pretend this is Lisa standing right next to you. Get right up there.
And she probably is.
I ain't in no hurry. No, I'm taking my time. There's no need to worry. You'll find it ain't worth a dime. Just put your mind on what you want, when, why, where, and how to. Go on and reach for the sky. Why? 'Cause you've got to. I ain't in no hurry. No, I'm taking my time. No need to worry. You'll find it ain't worth a dime. Just put your mind on what you want, when, why, where, and how to. Go on and reach for the sky. Why? 'Cause you've got to. Seems to me there's a whole lot living in the world going on about you. Seems to me, if you show what you know, then who in the world can doubt you? Gonna get there just fine. Gonna get there, dandelion. Gonna get there just fine. Gonna get there, dandelion. And in no hurry, just fine. Gonna get there, dandelion. Gonna get there just fine. Gonna get that dandelion. Gonna get there just fine. You'll find get that dandelion. Gonna get there just fine. Gonna get that dandelion. Just put your mind on just what you want. Gonna get that dandelion. Why, where, and how to. Just fine. Gonna get that dandelion. Go on and reach for the sky. Gonna get that dandelion. 'Cause you've got to just fine. Gonna get that dandelion. Gonna get there just fine. Gonna get that dandelion. Gonna get there just fine. Gonna get that dandelion. Gonna get there, get there, get there.
All right, as we get together the collection plate, first of all, Angelica's message, really powerful as always, but it brought up a thought in me about the negative thinking that we do. The way I donate to the center is with Rick's suggestion from a couple of years ago in practitioner training. I take a certain percentage of all my income every month, and then I write a check for that, and I do it once a month. And last month was a pretty good month for me. And as I'm writing the check, I'm going, oh, damn, I have to write more this time. And as I'm writing, I was thinking, wait a second, what is wrong with that? So that your thought was, oh, I got to make less money so I can give less to the center. So funny how they just sneak in on us. All right, that said, we have got the band is going to play, the plate is going to be passed. We have an affirmation there we go. Put in what you can, always put in love, and together we say, I gratefully give from the fullness of my abundance, knowing my gift blesses this center, all in it and beyond, and so it is. You can leave, just leave the money. Be gone. All right. All right. We accept these gifts knowing that all there is one, and it is an infinite energy filled with abundance and creating for us as much as we want and even more if we let it. And as we accept these gifts and turn them into the center and into the city and into the community and into the world, we know they are going forth with such peace and love that we can't even picture how big it is. And for that, we are incredibly grateful as we accept these, and we say together with love, and so it is. Thank you. Now you can go. All right, we're going to have a couple of we're going to have our statement of inclusion. We've got a little bit of time for some demonstrations. Wanted to remind everybody this is also the first Sunday of the month, in addition to being the first Sunday of the year. And so it is Birthday Sunday. And we will have flowers for that. We have a potluck in the other room that's going to take place. Oh my goodness, there's so much. And then if you would like to meet with the practitioners afterwards, you can meet with the practitioners. And one final thing before we do our birthdays, we have a new closing song, at least for today and probably for this month. The song is called All the Colors of the Rainbow. It'll be on screen. And for those of us who have been here for a while, it was a song that one of our practitioners, dear sister from another mister, Les Craig wrote, and it's a beautiful, loving, inclusive song. So now let's start with the birthdays. If you have a birthday in January, if you would stand and let us sing happy birthday to you, and Burl will give flowers out. Together we sing, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear people. Happy birthday to you. And as I'm prone to do, I'm going to reverse the order a little bit. Instead of going into the statement of inclusion first and then demonstrations, if you have a demonstration that you would like, okay, Edward will be one, and Bree will be another. Well, the demonstration is, for those of you who are just joining us or who are not familiar with it, the way the philosophy works is you imagine what you want, you feel it deep within, it is coming to you from the spirit, from the universe, and then you believe in it as per getting a job in Hawaii, and it manifests itself in this plane of existence. So that's what a demonstration is, and since Bree, you're already standing, if you'd like to come forward and tell us your demonstration, we'd appreciate it.
Well, because it was really, the whole thing was really powerful. So I have a detached garage, and even though I shut my gate to the backyard, someone came in a few weeks ago, went into the garage, stole my bike, stole my roommate's bike. And my bikes, I ride all the time. I do charity rides with it. I'm a what I consider a serious rider, bicycle rider. And it's probably worth $1,500 with everything, and to replace it was probably going to be $2,000. And with Christmas and everything, I thought, oh my God, that's going to be a lot of money. But the worst part was just that feeling of being violated on some level. And I talked to my dad, and I just was really upset because I was grieving over this. And by a Christmas miracle, I got it back. Whoever took it left it somewhere and ran off, and a neighbor had it. And I was so excited, but it was such an emotional roller coaster. But what a powerful demonstration of how God still supports us even when we think we're in, the shittiest place. So, it was very nice. Thanks.
Waples, would you like to come forward? If you're not familiar with that, it was a play that Rick and I did where he became Edward Waples.
Hey, I heard that all my life. Some people say waffles. I say, well, you get an F out of a P. Anyway, this is one I haven't shared with the congregation, only with a few personal friends, because it was pretty phenomenal, actually, almost unbelievably phenomenal. But my wife and I, we went to the Philippines on vacation a little while back, And we went to Boracay, which is a resort island. And every time I go to the Philippines, I always bring a major typhoon with me. You know, it never fails, never fails. I'm really not a...
It's not a nice thing to call your wife.
I didn't say that. But anyway, so this particular time was no exception. The typhoon found us and hit, you know, as we were getting ready to leave. And it was like winds of like 110 miles an hour and, you know, sheets of rain so thick you couldn't see. And we had to leave at around 4 in the morning. So it was dark on top of everything else. We got to get to Boracay, you have to take a boat. So we got to the area where the boat was, and it was just pouring down raining. The guy said, we can't take it out, you know, we're worried the boats might capsize and all of this stuff, waves high. And I said, okay, I am going to put a test to what it is that I've been telling people and what I've been believing all these years about the science of mind and treatment. So I sat and I closed my eyes and I made myself one with the energy behind the rain. I said, you know, brother, I said, I know that, you know, I'm here or you're angry or whatever the case is, but I said, please, please, please subside. Let us cross in safety. And after I did the treatment, it actually stopped enough for us to be able to get across. And when we got across on the other side, it started again. So we were stuck in the airport for a minute or two, but I thought it was just such an incredible thing. And it's a test, I think it's a testimony to treatment, and I am a firm believer in treatment. Thank you.
There's that old joke about Moses having to take the people across the Red Sea. And just put your arm out and the seas will part. And he goes, I don't believe this will happen. And God says, just believe it, it will happen. And he puts his arm out and the sea parts. And he leads the people across the Red Sea and they're standing in these two columns of water, you know, two walls of water. And Moses is walking around going, I don't believe this. Sorry. Okay. That's the type of thing you would have told. All right, let's get our community statement of inclusion. We would like somebody to read this, and then Donna will lead us, I believe, in Les's song, All the Colors of the Rainbow. If you haven't read the community statement of inclusion, it's fun to do, and if you read, you'll do it perfectly. And if you improvise, it'll be great too. Nobody's going to... All right, Louise, I know what you... Oh, wait, Cherie just stood up. Let's let Cherie. Come on. Because Cherie hasn't had an opportunity to do this. Oh, that would have been interesting, wouldn't it? I can't read what it's saying.
Thank you, my dear.
My pleasure. It's right there.
Hi. We, the Eureka Center for Spiritual Living, are a community that celebrates diversity, fosters inclusion, champions inner work, and creates space for brave, vulnerable conversations. We are a community that honors the unique emanation of God that each person embodies and advocates with people for human rights and dignity for all. We are a community that blesses each other, sees sacredness in all life, remains learners and listeners, so that we may grow together, and understands that oneness is not sameness. We know our beloved community is revealed more fully when we love each other well.
If you would please form a circle.
No, let's not do a circle because there's a new song.
Let's not form a circle. You may please stand. Nice stand. And now on one leg. No, I'm kidding. Here we go.